Hello everybody. Hello, people from the channel. Hello, everybody, anybody who is hearing us here. Good night, good evening. Depends on what where you are. So, well, today we're gonna talk about the AI engineer. So, how to be prepared for the future, and we have here my really big friend Fabio Miranda. Hey, Fabio, how are you?
Hey, good, good.
Can you introduce? Let's introduce ourselves, right? Maybe sometimes people don't know us. Well, I'm Pedro Cavalero. I'm a senior software engineer here at Super.com. I work here in Canada, Toronto, and well, I was a little more afraid about AI, but I don't think I'm afraid anymore. And you, Fab?
Yeah, I'm Fabio. I'm working from Vancouver, Canada. I have been working remotely for more than 10 years, and I had the opportunity to come to Canada. It's been an amazing experience. And to be honest, AI still creates a lot of anxiety and uncertainties, but it makes every day it's more clear that it will help us a lot as tools to improve ourselves as professionals, but it will also change the landscape of how we think about the problems and how we solve the problems and create a whole new class of opportunities. So um, we have to be curious and enjoy the opportunity of being on this moment of the time to find the great opportunities that it creates.
Yeah, pretty much. So, well, it's interesting to see because AI is. We have been talking about AI like it's been since ChatGPT has come, but before that, we had all this discussion about machine learning and all the discussion about deep learning. I remember when, like 2014, when I were first time I heard about deep learning, and they were talking about, oh, this guy can understand images and transform image in text, say describe an image. So that's amazing. It was a curious work from a great scientist, and they say, cool. From that time, like 2014 to today, 2025, what looks like the things changed completely, right? But
Mhm.
how do you compare where we were 10 years ago from to what we are now?
And I don't know if I will be able to answer that question very precisely because
Mhm.
you know
How do you feel?
it's an interesting question in the sense that do stop to think about many companies are still eating like the basic. They're still doing the basic. Some companies are still struggling with basic problems like uh, developing their processes. So there are many opportunities in the ERP spaces, or they're still struggling to make their collaborators to use their CRMs well and finding the information. Or even some companies are still struggling with content management systems. So think about it. Uh, we are in a world that simultaneously is still learning the things that were like the mainstream 10 years ago,
Hmm.
and technology emerges. And eventually, this new technology will eat all those problems and they will solve those problems in a different approach. So, um, like we have a lot of, as you said, we have a lot of improvements in the last 10 years. But now the technology is approaching in a way that people is not going to operate those tools or have to learn more stuff because this is the biggest struggle in many businesses. But the tools will help us to, okay, this is based on the data that I have, based on the data that your business is providing. I think AI can provide things that is not imaginable from the way we approach the problems today. But now it's that old joke. Okay, before we had one problem, now we have AI, we have two problems, because all those struggles in the mainstream CRM, ERP, blah blah blah, things that are still problems in the businesses. Now we have AI in the equation. You know, so
Yeah,
how
but
as a professional
actually, I think that the
go ahead.
sorry, sorry.
How as professional do we position ourselves like on this scenario?
Exactly. That's the point. When you put AI, AI is not a solution to a problem. It's a solution looking for a problem,
Exactly.
right? So as we have seen this before, like technology come and they are looking to apply that technology to a problem, right? It's not that it's not new. We as engineers we like to do this kind of thing. Like we find something fancy and then we try to apply that to a problem and try to solve a problem with that. And sometimes we over engineer for to get to this, right? And sometimes no, and many times. And you comment about ARP, CRM, CMS, all these guys, they are there, and people still struggling with it. It's still with AI or not, right? So when we think about the future, we can say, okay, what? Uh, let's try to narrow this a little for our roles, like software engineers, because
Mhm.
when we start thinking about like all the market, we have many jobs that this new AI that we have today, not the old AI that we were talking about here, like the Google, what Google started bringing in 2015, 2010s,
Yes.
right? And but the current AI, the AI that can like reason, solve complex problems, or discuss about is complex stuff. You know, of course, we're not. Please, are not talking here about AGI. Okay,
Mhm.
I actually am not a fan of this term, but we're talking here about what artificial intelligence can do today. They can do all this stuff, and they can automate, or can help, or can even do all the work from some roles, right?
Mhm.
And many people is trying to use the current AI to work to 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 replace the software engineers.
Mhm.
Are you afraid of being replaced?
You never know. The only thing that you can do in that situation is you have to know. So you have a fundamental problem. But yeah, you need to be aware of okay, how this impact my career today, because the wave is happening, and we need to, and it's happening very fast, and you have to figure out okay, how can I surf this wave, right? I think it's a natural moment of adjust in the profession, but it's too early to do predictions, and because most of all, even I think every engineer today is trying to figure out okay, this thing is happening. Where do I start? Because there are so many alternative paths that you can follow to choose. You can learn. Okay, let me try to use Verso AI. It's a wrapper around AI tools. So you focus on the interface. Doesn't caring too much about the underlying AI, LLM, or whatever is the Verso AI interface is using. So, but you focus on solving your problem into a high level interface. So Verso AI is a good example of this kind of product. But what level of the underlying technology is important to you to make sure you're solving your problem the right way? How much, when are you going to need to actually do the training for some specific problem. So I think these are some of the questions that for everyone who is new to AI, they are to me it's not easy to tell if I know the answer. I'm just a curious guy trying to find the answers. And I can even say that uh, the persons who are in the university right now, probably they have some factor of luck, because they are probably getting that part of the AI shift in their education. And the professionals that are in the market, they are dealing with real problems, so they are carrying the old problems and the new technologies at the same time. So yeah, so what's the balance, right, of uh, getting the academic or the theoretic things as a professional or a student? So yeah, these are all parts of the same answer.
It, yeah, talking about that, people say, there was a research, I couldn't find it, the research that shows that senior developers are being more became more productive using AI than junior
Hmm.
developers.
Good.
So when you have a junior developer and you give him AI to code that AI, anyone like Copilot, Cursor, anyone,
Hmm.
they increase the productivity. Good, but senior developer can do that even more.
Hmm.
So, and there are lots of companies that are like freezing some hires in terms of software engineers because of AI. They say, "Oh, AI will increase the productivity in terms that I don't need to hire anymore, at least for now,
Hmm.
or even lay off." Of course, there is an anecdote case here in Twitter that people, a guy that laid off all his engineer team say, "I will use AI for your work," and like a week later he was hiding the team again. Right? I can show you here a case. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, but part
Uh,
of the joke is that if they don't hire the juniors anymore, who is going to become the future seniors? That is a contradiction.
yeah, this is not a joke, right?
Yes.
One of the most famous AI engineers, like complete AI engineer, is Devin, right?
Hmm.
And there are many people. Devin just released a subscription, so you can pay like $500 per month to use Devin, and they say they can. Devin is a complete software engineer, so you can talk to him use using Slack and ask him to do a question to create to execute any tasks and and like pull make create pull requests for this tasks in GitHub or GitLab, so they can integrate with Jira, GitLab, and all this stuff to execute his tasks. Good, and you can talk to him in Slack. Great. And this guy is describing that he tried some tasks with Devin, and he said, "Okay, you got some wins in the beginning, and we like it, you know."
Hmm.
But then he tried like more. What the number here? Out of 20 tasks, it was 14 failures,
Hmm.
three inconclusive and three success. Like tasks for a software engineer, just the tasks. And he like lists all the tasks here. The very first task here, migrating data from a Notion to Google Sheets, and mode app deploy, generate synthetic data, all this stuff. Oh, failure, all this actual fail. What can show me, right? Diving one of the best AIs out there doing this kind of job, right? But we have lots of good AIs
Hmm.
that not replace software engineer, but can boost software engineer. We know Copilot, Cursor, all these guys. Copilot only, like one, it's not the best of this. I use Copilot every day,
Hmm.
and I can say that I'm starting to be much more productive. I would love to. I would love to see my metrics that we have here in the company, some metrics. Uh, After this last version of Copilot, I think it was last month, and and I started to get more proficient on it. So Copilot is helping me a lot to write code, a correct code, code being correctly tested, and all this kind of stuff. You know,
Mhm.
what I think is that you as software engineer, you need to be proficient in these tools. It will be like IDE. It will be like language. It will be like stack. You know,
Yes.
you
Mhm.
need to be proficient in AI tools, like AI code tools, because then you increase your productivity. All right. So I think this will happen, and this is what the companies are just waiting for when they
Mhm.
buy you more AI tools. And of course, when you think about, okay, if you one engineer can do more work, so AI is shrinking our job, right?
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
Yeah. This deving example is good. And you told about the Copilot, how Copilot boosted your productivity. I have a strong history with Copilot from last year. Did you have a chance to do some kind of integration with API like DocuSign?
Doku sign up.
Yeah, it's basically automation of sending and collecting signatures. You
Uh-huh.
can use their SaaS, but you can also embed that programmatically into your application.
Mhm.
And contracts documents, it's a very complex domain. So for every problem you think about, probably DocSign has a solution.
Mhm.
So you can, if you go to their GitHub today, there's a lot of examples.
Mhm.
And but sometimes, in my case, I only wanted to do like a simple test. Okay, this is the I want to export this Google document to PDF. Get this PDF. The Google document has a marker where the signature should be placed. So you have to give that to DocSign. It's an invisible marker. And then you want like to DocuSign to manage the sending and of the documents and retrieving the signatures. Okay, this is the problem, not simple problem.
Mhm.
But the it's not simple because the API itself is huge. The documentation is huge. Even if you go through the examples, like there is a okay, this is your scenario. You can download the sample,
Hello
but this
world.
requires a lot of experience. Like a inexperienced developer would have a bad time trying to explore that. Okay,
Mhm.
how did I manage to deliver something in only a small amount of time? It was I have to thank to Copilot because thanks to Copilot, there are some things, there are some minor details that are not present in the documentation, but they need to happen before you can successfully sign the document. And one of the things it was answered to me from Copilot.
Mhm.
There is a part of this integration that requests you to get a consent. It's a programmatic call that is not part of the sample code. It's not part of the documentation.
Mhm.
And when I started receiving those errors, Stack Overflow also didn't have the answer. Stack Overflow used to be our like source of truth, right?
Mhm.
Anyone in the world should have this problem before me. I'm not a special guy. In this case, I didn't find the answer. So, hey, Copilot, help me. And it gave me, okay, it's not working because this. You have to make this call before you can sign the document, you know? So it was, I would, in like 10 years ago, I would easily spend like an entire week doing that integration. With the help of Copilot, it was like an afternoon because it parsed the documents in a way that it was tailored to my need.
Hmm.
All that I needed to do, and this is not a soft skill, it requires some level of experience, is
Hmm.
making sure you are doing right questions. So you need to be good at the prompt. You good prompt is first
Hmm.
thing,
Hmm.
and you need to, okay, this is the answer. What do there is of interpret, right? So this is the amazing thing about Copilot. But this is only the like infancy of the tool. I think we will get better really fast.
Yes, I think this is the point. You know, it started getting better really fast. You know, and of course, Copilot can do all this stuff. But you said something very important. You knew what you want to achieve. You knew how the code looks like, if the code looks like good enough for you, or if it's a good code enough, it's good enough for your company, like in terms of standards and all stuff. You know, it's not only like getting an integration; it's getting production ready code, right? That's what we're
Yes.
looking for here, right?
Mhm.
Production ready code in high quality. That's what we software engineers are looking for, and I can see, like in my experience here with Copilot, and probably in with all other AI tools we have here, is that these AIs doesn't give like high quality code right away,
Mhm.
even not correct code right away. But you need to interact a little. So that's what I think it's wrong with deving. You
Mhm.
don't interact, right? They are really trying to remove the person, the engineer from the
Mhm.
equation. I can imagine a moment that I'm not not only writing code, but I'm orchestrating lots of AIs
Mhm.
running. They are doing code like I'm a tech lead of junior engineers that I can't allow this right stuff alone, but just sometimes go and, oh no, don't do that, and
Mhm.
and they are starting writing most of the code, and then I say, okay, improve the code coverage of this test. Oh no, this is not following this standard. Use this example here as a standard, and soon they I am doing like 10 times my productivity. Of
Mhm.
course, currently we don't get there because it's, like, as you said, still infancy, right?
Mhm.
But I think we're going to get there. And if you want to stay as software engineer, you need to follow the wave, and you need to, well, use the tools and get used to these tools, and to be better, to stay in the best roles, in the best paid roles, right? Of course, software engineers will stay there. Probably will not have so much opportunities as we were predicting before,
Mhm.
but they will be a lot of job opportunity. And
Mhm.
actually, we are getting new roles, right?
Exactly.
Let me show you another one here.
Let me do one comment. All those things that you said right now, it sounds like fiction. But how many things that were fiction 10 years ago and are not anymore? So we need to be prepared.
Exactly. No, you remember? Think about it. When we start talking about 10 years ago, 10 years ago, a computer look at the photo and understand that the photo was something completely insane.
Hmm.
Today they have demos of walking through the office, looking at anything in the office, and they know everything.
Hmm.
They can talk to you and like someone understanding the context. Of course, these demos are much more to show up than to be really useful. The one we're talking here is trying to be useful, right? And here I'm showing the new roles like AI engineer. We had some roles before, like it's data scientists, data engineers, machine learning engineers, machine learning researchers, right? AI researcher, because this researcher is academic. They are doing research in AI since 1950, right? But AI engineer is when you put the AI in the industry. So now you have AI engineers here. As you can see, there is a one almost 2,000 results right now in LinkedIn for AI engineer in only United States. You see, and then you think about, okay, wow, AI engineer, 1,000. Uh, uh, this is a completely new role. You can look at this role here and you see experience with LLMs, background in data processing, experience with streaming architectures, right? So when you look at the here, experience building production backend team systems. We're not talking about a completely new role here. We're talking about a software engineer that has some backup, some background in AI, right?
Hmm.
Strong computer science fundamentals. When I say experience building production backend system, we are looking for a senior software engineer because AI is just here, and I am 20 years of experience now. Now AI is coming now. How could I have 20 years of experience with AI? It's impossible.
Yeah.
But when we get say, experience a guy like me studying this thing and working like that, I can be an AI engineer. So one way to be in this future, like not being swallowed by the AI, is to is to work with them,
Yeah.
right? Became one of them. Like, remind me, Obi Wan Kenobi say, Anakin, you're not supposed to. You're supposed to destroy the Sith, to not join them. And
And
yeah,
face the truth.
and we are like Anakin Skywalker joined the dark side.
And face the truth. Let's look at those jobs, okay? And let's also think about what you said about being the person who is orchestrating the AI. At the end of the day, there are many companies, there are many businesses that they will need to operate AI systems to survive in the market and to stay competitive in this brave new world.
Mhm,
But they can't rely solely on the technology. They will need the persons who are operating the technology and generating the results, who
sure.
are going to be able to analyze and qualitatively and quantitatively if the results are good if, for the goals of the businesses. So even probably AI will be better to also help on this kind of analysis. But at the end of the day, the companies will not eliminate the human factor. I believe they will not eliminate the human factor because they need the humans to, like, of course, the best professionals who adapt to this new reality will help companies to stay competitive and to develop new business models with this new technology that's looking for the problems, right?
Mhm,
Do you
right.
believe in that?
Mhm. Yeah, I do, of course. Uh,
Your audio is
well,
a bit
hello.
yeah, it's better now.
Yeah, I was talking too far away from the mic. No, yeah, I completely agree. I think there will always be needs for the people to use these tools. These guys are tools, not person.
Yeah, like they
Sometimes,
want to pay the salaries for someone to use the tools.
yeah, of course. Uh, here, here we talk about AI engineers. So we're talking people who created these tools, right? So we're talking like 1,000 results, 2,000 results for to people to create AI tools,
Hmm.
right? But if we keep as software engineer, we talk about like
Yeah.
100 times that number that will be using these tools. So I think that if you are not join them, you can become friend of them,
Hmm.
right? And you say, okay, one way of to get to the future is turning into an AI engineer. Other way is using AI to get your job and make you a better engineer and make you get opportunities like that. Well, 200K a year. And I bet I can find AI here. Let's see. uh, no, there's no AI in this. No AI. No need AI to be a staff software engineer here.
Hmm.
Let's see. Distributed staff engineer, other place here. And take a look if we have AI. Nice to have. No, no need AI as well. But I do think this kind of opportunities will start showing AI
Hmm.
in the near future. The same way it's asked for Docker, Kubernetes, AWS. We probably put it here. AI
And you
tools.
can see here, AI is the big thing now, but all the other supporting roles they didn't disappear
No, they're
because
still.
you need all the infrastructure, you need all the professionals that take care of everything that will make the AI driven businesses possible.
For
So
sure.
maybe it's a moment, if the demand increases in the AI side, the supporting role demands will also increase. So this is why I told in the beginning of the meeting that we are like in a adjust time. And to be prepared for the future, you need to study and get informed because this is inevitable, right? This is like Thanos.
Yeah.
I'm inevitable.
But I'm inevitable. But and let's talk about the white elephant in the room.
Hmm. This is happening right now.
So 2020 we have the Chinese are taking our jobs. Oh, in 2024 AI is taking our job. Oh, the Chinese AI is taking our jobs. Yeah, we were talking about DeepSeek. Okay,
Yeah.
the Chinese AI,
And
and
the funny part is that next week this will be too old.
I will get to there. Oh, here I have it here. Boom.
Yeah, one step at a time. Oh, it's not 1 week.
It was not 1 week.
Whoa.
That's the thing, man. You were too fast. But that's what's
No.
happening. This thing is happening too fast.
Mhm.
Right? When I look at it, I say, yeah, it was yesterday.
Mhm.
So it, uh, uh, the point, I think the point is not like the Chinese AI or the stuff. No, it's AI. It's evolving like really fast. There's lots of money on that. Lots of money. It will gonna go. When you put enough money in the
Mhm.
stuff, it's going to evolve. Uh, the U.S. government now is putting $500 billion on incentives for AI inside the U.S. I can't imagine how much the Chinese government is putting in AI, because
Mhm.
it became like a weapon too, right?
Yes.
It's not a it's something that the same way lots of other tools are restricted in, to your own country or something like that. AI will be like that, or most probably. The one of the goodness of this guy here, it's open source, right? But so is Llama from Meta, and looks like this guy is was built on top of Llama as well. I am not sure. We are not sure, but looks like it is.
Hmm.
So, so what's going on here is that the technology is evolving, but the business not that much. So we are still to find problems to this solution, right? And now people are saying, I read that in LinkedIn somewhere. People are saying that maybe your business that is created on top of a wrapping one of these LLM, maybe it's not that bad because it's focused on the customers, not on the technology. You're trying to solving a customer problem.
Hmm.
One, two, focus it, making money. The technology itself, it starts to getting the pricing getting totally down. Look at this comparison here. This
Yeah.
is the best OpenAI now, the best one, but they are creating the O3 now. This is the per million tokens. Now DeepSeek that has almost the same uh, performance, less than one, less than half, about 24, 27 times difference.
And this is just the beginning.
Yeah. Well, so this is start to get to be to starting to get to a point to be a commodity.
Mhm.
Can you imagine AI being commodity
Yeah.
like a rice, like oil?
But this brings us back to the starting point. As engineers, we are in this moment of learning the solutions to understand how they can help us with solving the business problems.
Mhm.
And it's a lot of cognitive load that we need to figure out. And right now, with this amount, with the speed the things are happening, and the amount of resources available, it feels like a labyrinth, right? Like there are many paths, and we need to figure out both the technical and the business impacts of that in our profession.
Yes, this is really hard.
Hmm.
It's hard, but it's still possible. I
Yeah.
think we are not in the point that we're gonna lose this battle. For us, like that, we are like seniors that we have seen lots of things before. I think it's something that we shouldn't avoid, but we are not like we are not replaceable anymore yet. So let's work towards the wave, and then we get there. I I the Henry is one my ex boss here in Super, and he did an interesting experience. He tried to replace human jobs with AI. Basically, he tried to use AI to do some Upwork tasks, you know. And then uh, in the end, he learned that the problem was not the tech. It's pretty much the market. So it says AI is here, but the adoption is low. People are stuck in old ways. When I say it's stuck in old ways, I say no. People have his own problems that AI is not thinking yet. That's what I understand about that.
Mhm.
The AI tools is a mess. People want solutions, not more tools, right? And traditional marketplaces, in terms of jobs, aren't built for the AI economy. So, current marketplaces, current way of finding jobs, current way of asking for a job, asking for tasks, like for freelancing, is not prepared yet. The market itself, not the AI. So, this guy built a $1 billion marketplace. This guy knows what he's doing. you know,
That's
well,
good.
yeah, it's not me talking.
Exactly.
It's a $1 billion guy talking, right? And so these shows that we still can't get to it. Please, people that are in the audience here, don't lose your faith.
It's the opposite feeling. It's a good moment for opportunities.
This is a good moment for potential. Exactly, this is a good one. That uh, I I prepared this part here. Exactly. I want to share exactly this feeling. We are in a good moment. Uh, Me and Fabio, we were talking here about sharing everything we're studying, everything we are doing to make, uh, to stay in this market after so many years. So the idea of these chats here, we'll be doing these chats like every other week, you know. So we'll be trying to getting information, getting sometimes normal knowledge like technical stuff, sometimes talk things about career, so like today, like sometimes things about how we position ourselves in the market, make to make us a better developers, better engineers, better professionals. So that's what we are trying to do here in this moment here in this place in this podcast. We don't have a name for that yet, right, Pablo? We need to find one.
Yeah. Maybe you should ask for an AI.
Yeah, maybe we can ask Copilot or ChatGPT or DeepSeek. Let's ask DeepSeek for a name. The AI of the moment. Oh God.
But
Well, we are.
I see some fun names of companies, but like they have their own names and they like remove one letter or other, and they find a good name for their AI. Like one of the best ones, like they wanted an assistant, and they choose Assis as their AI agent. I,
Assist.
so
Good one.
yeah, I think people are creative finding names, only playing with the words of their own business. But for us,
Yeah.
my suggestion is that hey, okay, let's make the AI work a bit for us.
Yeah. I think next time I will bring
Yeah.
some AI code that I'm playing here.
Hmm.
Maybe it would be a good idea, right? If we get for the next moments we bring some code like coding, trying to solve a problem. Um, we have a bunch of problems that we could solve for ourselves, and I think it would be good to do it in a broader audience.
Yeah,
Other thing.
I think bringing something concrete is always good. It creates a good. "Hey, okay, people are doing this. This great like creates inspiration. Inspiring by example is always a good
Mhm.
leadership attitude.
Or exactly. Well, any last words for today?
I think it's you covered everything. And you, what do you think?
Well, I think I could just wrap up. So my opinion, how we get to the how we be prepared to the future. We cannot avoid AI. We need to learn, and then we need to choose. As senior software engineer, do you want to stay as software engineer, or do you want to become an AI engineer? Right? AI engineer will be like branch of that, and probably getting back to your comment about academy. Maybe people that in the college right now, they can get to this path much faster than us, right?
Hmm.
But if we get like senior software engineer with AI, summing up our experience with some AI knowledge, not all academic knowledge, not research knowledge, but some knowledge to productionize this, we can get there. Or a senior software engineer just can that are using AI to be more productive. So I think we have these
Yeah,
paths to follow so we can stay ahead of the future and we will not be replaced by replaced by AI. No,
yeah.
Devin, you will not get my job.
Exactly. I think there are unique values in both sides. Like the persons who are in the academy, they are lucky in receiving the formal education on that probably, but the experience also counts a lot. So having both of the work together and learning together is good. And don't forget that businesses still need to solve real problems, even in customers or their resources planning or whatever. Uh, it's all about shifting the mindset, or thinking about better ways of solving the old problems. We can't forget that.
Perfect. Wow. Thank you so much, Fabio. And thank you so much for everybody who joined here and went by. And next time, you feel free to join. We'll be sending the event. Uh, of course, this all this talk will stay recorded. There's lots of good content on here. We'll be bringing much more to the channel. Okay?
Bye.
Thank you so much. See you guys.